Perhaps I should have done this long ago, and maybe in certain small ways lent my effort to disclosing to those who at that time in my life I felt were competent enough to understand the information. And over the years of observing the unfolding of events that have led to the condition of desperation and destruction of our people, even though uncertain of all there could be to know about the real reason for it, have I always known from my own study and experience that there is much more to this reality than we, even as a collective species of humans on this planet, could ever be aware. Inasmuch concerns the condition of black peoples on this planet, from the destruction of Kemet, to the enslavement of Africans, to crack and AIDS, it is more evident to me today that there is and perhaps has always been something of the nature of our being, who and what we are in this world, that regardless what we do or claim or become will always strive against us. We can call this the European, or the Edomite, or the white man, or even the devil and Satan if we like. In the end, it doesn't make any difference what we call it. What we must understand and finally come to terms with is the truth that we know very little or nothing at all of God beyond what we are taught to believe, nor do we really know how this world or the people in it ever came to be. We are so certain of our beliefs and religions that we've completely lost any sense and ability to think rationally and logically about what the real answers to these things may be. We think mystically and mythically and emotionally about everything and do not use our minds to relate our experiences as a people to anything happening in reality, and so fall deeper and deeper into confusion and ignorance. I have studied and researched for the better half of 25 years theosophy, metaphysics, comparative religion, occult science, black history, and finally the subject of UFOs. I know that these things are not beings from space more than they are metaphysical and or spiritual entities that we may call spirits, angels, demons, jinn, elementals, or most middly, fairies, and that stories and tales of interactions between humans and these vast races is common throughout almost every ancient culture. It is clear to me that these races of beings share the creation and for the most part are commanded by the one God to serve humanity, and that human beings are given dominion over this earth with the condition that we are to take care of it, and it by honoring the Creator through which we are able to do all things. It is these species of beings, whether angels or spirits or divine demons, who in their obedience to God serve us and help us to progress. I do not have all the answers, and I stop short of any number of possible truths that may apply to explain just what is happening to our people. But I am inclined to think that these beings have the knowledge and power to create human beings and other things, and were by God commanded to assist in the creation of the original man. Some order of these beings hate humanity and may be envious enough to want to trick humanity into serving them instead of them serving us. I think these beings are the same blonde-haired blue beings Hitler wanted to implant as the superhuman race. I think they are the same devils Elijah Muhammad talks about. I think these are a collective that has in much of the UFO lore presented itself under the name of the ISHTAR command, and this is just a clever concealment of the demon's real name ISHTAR, or ASHTEROTH. And that the same white Jesus we've been taught is the Messiah is their creation, the first successful in vitro fertilization genetic splice attempted that resulted in birth of this anointed one. These entities have even claimed that they in fact put a being on this planet we call Jesus and created all the major religions. Since this single assertion is so preposterous, it is very likely that we cannot even recognize it as truth, since these beings have already proven themselves liars, and since we have no more evidence than our own beliefs anyway. How would we know? It may be that ASAR is just another metaphysical hybrid human, perhaps created by the same or some other race of metaphysical entities by similar means, and who established the Mashankimatic Nile Valley civilization, which in turn was destroyed by invasion of some other kind of entities with who our creators were at war with or rebelled against in order to get this technology for themselves, that they may have human souls. But we have them to ask whether we are experiencing successive manifestations of one thing, or multiple things. Should we expect that the same thing is happening all over again and has been the case all along? That we are being deliberately Super Saiyan displaced by a race of metaphysical bigs who have learned how to supplant their own generations on the earth, what we call Europans? Perhaps I should have written this book long ago, but I have decided that there is no better time to start writing it than now.